One of the most intriguing and profound narrative of the Bible is the depiction of Satan appearing before God. This story, found primarily in the book of Job, provides a window into the cosmic struggle between good and evil, offering us lessons that resonate deeply with the human condition. To understand the significance of this event, we must first delve into the identity of Satan and frame the narrative within the broader context of biblical teachings. Before we move forward, I ask you to please contribute and help us by quickly subscribing to the channel, liking and commenting. This motivates me to continue producing new content that can transform lives, just as it transformed mine in this search for biblical knowledge. Thank you so much. Satan, often known as the adversary or accuser, emerges from the Hebrew tradition as a being who opposes God's will, yet operates within the limits of divine permission. Unlike popular culture's depiction of Satan as the embodiment of evil with autonomous power, the Bible presents a more nuanced view. In Job 1 verses 6-12, Satan appears in the heavenly court before God, suggesting that his role is not outside of God's sovereign purview, but rather a part of the divine order, testing the faithfulness of God's followers. Why does Satan appear before God, you might ask? The book of Job provides a compelling narrative. Satan challenges Job's integrity, suggesting that Job's righteousness is merely a byproduct of his prosperity and God's protection. This accusation leads God to allow Satan to test Job, stripping him of his wealth, health, and family, yet Job's faith remains unshaken. This story is a profound exploration of faith, suffering, and the integrity of the human soul before God. Jesus, whose teachings and life embody the path of righteousness and love, provides further insight into the nature of our spiritual struggle. While direct references to Satan appearing before God are not a focus of Jesus' teachings, he often spoke of the reality of evil and the importance of faith, perseverance, and the love of God. For example, in Luke 22 verses 31 and 32, Jesus says to Simon Peter, "Simon, Simon, behold, Satan demanded to have you that he might sift you like wheat. But I have prayed for you that your faith may not fail. And when you have turned again, strengthen your brothers." Here, Jesus acknowledges the presence and purpose of trials, the reality of spiritual adversity, and the power of faith and intercession. From these biblical passages, several lessons emerge. 1. The reality of spiritual struggle. The existence of Satan and his appearance before God remind us that our lives unfold within a larger spiritual conflict. This awareness calls us to be vigilant, prayerful, and steadfast in faith. 2. The nature of faith. Job's story illustrates that true faith is not contingent upon our circumstances, but is a testament to our trust in God's goodness, even in adversity. 3. God's sovereignty and purpose. Even in allowing Satan to test Job, God's sovereignty is underscored. There is a divine purpose in our trials, which often goes beyond our understanding, but aims towards our ultimate good and spiritual growth. As we delve deeper into the profound narrative of why Satan appears before God, it's essential to explore various dimensions that not only keep us engaged, but also enrich our understanding of the spiritual lessons embedded within this story. I will now mention the main messages to be noted from this situation. The role of adversity in spiritual growth. The conversation between God and Satan about Job is not just a test of one man's faith, it's a reflection on the role of adversity in spiritual growth. Consider James 1 verses 2-4, which encourages believers to consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. The narrative of Satan appearing before God highlights this truth, reminding us that our most profound spiritual growth often comes through our most challenging trials. The concept of free will. A pivotal aspect of understanding why Satan appears before God involves the concept of free will. God's decision to allow Satan to test Job underlines the respect for human free will. This divine respect for our ability to choose is a cornerstone of our relationship with God. It signifies that our love, faith, and integrity are not compelled, but are acts of our volition, making our journey towards righteousness all the more meaningful. The power of intercessory prayer. Jesus' teachings and actions provide profound insights into dealing with adversity and evil. The power of intercessory prayer, as Jesus prayed for Peter, highlights the importance of praying for others in their spiritual battles. This communal aspect of faith, where believers support one another through prayer, strengthens the fabric of the spiritual community, reminding us that we are not isolated in our struggles, but are part of a greater, supportive community of faith. The sovereignty of God and the limits of Satan. While the narrative of Satan before God may initially seem to portray a dualistic power struggle, it crucially underscores God's sovereignty. Satan operates not as an equal counterpart, but within the parameters allowed by God. This distinction is vital, assuring us of God's ultimate authority over all creation, including adversarial forces. It comforts us, knowing that no matter the challenge, God's purpose and plan are sovereign. Reflections on Job's friends and the misinterpretation of suffering. An often overlooked element in the narrative is the role of Job's friends, who mistakenly attribute his suffering to sin. This misunderstanding leads us to a critical lesson. Not all suffering is a direct result of personal sin. Job's story invites us to reconsider our assumptions about suffering, encouraging us to offer compassion rather than judgment to those enduring trials. Finding meaning in suffering. Finally, the story of Satan appearing before God invites us to find meaning in our suffering. While we may not always understand the why behind our trials, we are encouraged to trust in God's wisdom and love. Romans 8 verse 28 assures us that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. This promise does not negate the reality of pain, but offers a hope that transcends our current understanding. In weaving these elements into our reflection on why Satan appears before God, we embark on a journey that deepens our faith, broadens our understanding, and strengthens our resolve. Let these insights serve as guideposts, leading us towards a deeper, more resilient faith, rooted in the knowledge that our trials have purpose, our faith has power, and our God reigns sovereign over all. As we share in this narrative, let us draw closer to one another and to God, finding solace, strength, and wisdom for the journey ahead. And as we reflect on why Satan appears before God in the Bible, let us find solace in the knowledge that our trials are not without purpose. They are opportunities for proving our faith, for growing closer to God, and for strengthening our spiritual resolve. In this cosmic narrative, we are not mere spectators but active participants, called to choose faith over fear, love over hatred, and hope over despair. Let this narrative not only inform us but transform us. May we, like Job, remain steadfast in our faith, and like Jesus, compassionate and resilient in the face of adversity. Together, as a community of believers, we uphold one another, drawing strength from the divine promise that in the end, good prevails over evil. In sharing this story, let it be a source of hope and a testament to the enduring power of faith. Let us remember that we are never alone in our struggles, and that, in the grand design of the divine, every challenge is an invitation to draw closer to the heart of God. With this understanding, may we find the courage to face our trials with grace, knowing that our story is a part of a much larger narrative of redemption and love. If you liked this video, I recommend that you watch the video that is appearing on the screen, where I tell you the moment Jesus became an angel. See you there.